back here at the nut farm. We found a little project here wanted to putz around with. Found this Johnson 5 horsepower outboard. Model is a KN28. Year is 1953. So it's 1 year younger than me. I did some preliminary inspection on it. When I picked it up, the bottom tin was missing. He didn't have that. And there were no spark plugs in it. I pulled the recoil start off. Spun that over after I had put some oil in the cylinders. Spun it over with the drill. Had no spark. Compression felt pretty good. I didn't do an actual compression test on it. Like I said, it got no spark. Went ahead and pulled the flywheel off and found that the coils were all delaminated and pretty rough shape. The points look pretty good shape. Condensers, I haven't done anything to check them yet. So we'll be working on this. I ordered some OEM Johnson parts for the coils. Those came in. So we'll move along on this and see what we can do with it. The mixture screw turns. That button there is supposed to slide up and down to prime the engine. That's pretty well jammed in place. The neutral switch on top here, that seems to be working. Gas cap was galled in there pretty good. I got that broke loose and was able to wire wheel it. Got the threads cleaned up. The inside of the tank looks real nice and clean. I'm thinking they ran it empty before they stored it. It was sitting in an old barn. What else? Like I said, when I rolled it over, had no spark. The old thumb check on the spark plug hole seemed like it had pretty good compression. So we'll start with that top. We'll take this off, pull the flywheel again, see if we can get those new coils in place, see if we get any spark. And from there, we'll probably go to the fuel system if we get spark. The handle here is pretty rotted off. Spring still in there for the flexible handle, but this here's all rotted. I think I saw one of those on the eBay somewhere, but that'll come later. So we get the top end, see if we can get it to fire. We'll move down the motor down to the lower end. I might pop a oil screw out of the bottom, just make sure there is oil on the lower end. And I might pull that bottom end off to check the water pump. But we'll work on the top end here first and see what we get. I'll go ahead and pull off the trim bolt. See if I can get a I'm able to rotate this. There we go. I guess I could actually just lift that on. It'll swing the whole way up. No. Yeah, I guess it will rotate the whole way up. I'll leave that there so I don't lose it. Oh, I see what. I see how that works now. Get this back on here, I'll show you. Okay. You see this lip right here in the top of this casting, and this cup here on the shim adjustment or trim adjustment, and that's down like that, and you're going forward. Of course, the motor is torquing forward, so there's really no need to hold it there. When you spin this around, probably about the 90-degree position, that tab slides behind that trim tab right here. There you can see the tab go up over that trim tab, and that locks it so it can't. That would be the reverse position if the motor was on the boat. That would be the reverse, spun the whole way around, and that would prevent it from the motor and prop from kicking up out of the water. So that locks it down there. But if you're turned around to the forward, yeah, you can do the full tilt. I've done 4 or 5 old outboard motors. I got some couple of them up in the top of the barn here. that back down to the bottom position. Okay. Well, we can tilt this up now. Spin that around to there. You guys might be able to see what I'm doing here a little better. Okay, we'll go ahead and get this top cover off. Make some room in here. There's the new spark plugs I got. I looked everywhere. It's they call for a Champion J6J. Unable to find that plug. It looks like it's been replaced by a J6C. John 6 Charlie. I got those and stuck them in. I am anticipating these coils will give us sparks. I hope so. Okay. There's the recoil cover. That functions pretty good. I would say that's original pull start rope. It's the old cloth. Probably got a cable core. There was a bunch of mud daubers in and under the gas tank there, or under the cover and under the gas tank. Got those all knocked off and blown out. Said I had this off, so that's still loose. This is the cog gear for the recoil start. Oh, there goes a bolt. Got that. If this is still loose. Yep. Got to kind of tilt it out. Get it clear of the mixture screw. That all looks real nice in there. See, any dings or bangs on that? Okay. There's our coils. Bring you around this way, see if you can get a better peek in there. There you go. You can see all the plastic is delaminated. There was crunched up plastic everywhere underneath this flywheel. It was jamming in the points and little pieces laying everywhere. light in there for you. Okay. Take one of these coils out and eyeball everything. Looks correct. Oh, upside down. Going that way. There's your little pivot slot for your clearance adjustment between the coil and the flywheel. Okay, that looks correct. Try and get these out. Well, it's a much longer screw on this side. The short one, I don't remember, is on the right side there where you can pivot. Those weren't very tight. That's another short one. So just the long one was in there. These two are short. Okay. And there's more dauber nests coming out. Yeah, that's looking pretty nasty. You can see how there's part of the plastic. It's all delaminated, and like I said, there was pieces of that everywhere. The bottom of it, it's all cracked and shredded. Okay. Okay. The coil. Down here, if you can see it, there's the tip of my fingernail there. That's a felt pad. It's supposed to have oil in it. It looks like it's completely dried out. That holds oil to lubricate the cam for the points. springs seem okay. And points are looking corroded. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and get this gas tank off. To get access to these screws. This is on the shaft. Let's see if that'll break loose. Yeah. That's all. That again is the neutral switch. So you can start it up in neutral. Okay. Let's see what's on the bottom of the tank here. I got to take this bottom tin. Got to take this bottom tin off to get to the bottom of the gas tank. 4 screws hold it on. These ones on the back are, the tin is slotted, so it just pops off there. I think the front ones just have holes. Those ones got to come out. Found a couple flathead screws. Like 1/4 inch 20. These 2 on the front were missing. They're underneath this here bezel. Turn around there where you can see them. Yeah, they're right here, here and here. Pops apart, comes off the back. Okay. Now we should be able to get the see what we got underneath here to get off. Okay. Well, it looks like we got one, two, three, 4. Those look like 1/2 inch. Okay, those are 7/16. Take these plugs out so we can spin that crank a little easier. Loose. That's loose. That's loose. It's loose. I'll undo the fuel line. Full tank. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a lock washer on them. Four. There were the coil bolts, gas tank bolts. Okay. We're gonna have to undo this cable. For the neutral switch. How's that going there? Just a little notch in there that hangs on. That goes over that shaft. It operates like that. Huh. That just pop out of there, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll come out of there. Remember where the spring goes. It clips over that. It goes down to there. Okay. Well, this should drop out, I would think. Or not. Hopefully the tank slides up that way. Well, maybe I don't even need to undo that. If I can get that back in there. That was there. That was there. That was there. Oh, yeah. There's the tank is loose now. I probably had my big head in there the whole time, huh? I need to get the fuel line off down here. I think that's all that's left holding the tank on. That came loose. Not too much trouble. Ferrule fitting will come out of there. Take the other end off too. It all just has that sticky varnish on everything. Kind of waterproofed everything. Okay. Ooh, there's some whew. That's varnish. Fuel line's full of that. Okay. Oh. Still got that mixture screw. How's that work here? Oh, there's a little set screw with a pin on it. Where's that stuff running out of the carburetor? This is what I'm looking at here. You see that rotating? There's a set screw. Get a smaller screwdriver, see if I can get that out. Okay, that came loose. Is that the set screw or is it threaded? I think it's threaded through. Yep. There's a piece of something ready to drop out. Oh, it's another chunk of mud dauber nest. Okay. Is that threaded? Yeah, it is. It's threaded it into the shaft there. So I don't lose that. That's the mixture screw. Okay, can we get it off now? Well, that neutral shaft for the neutral switch is sticking. Bend that. See if I can turn this needle valve. Pet cork. be a 1/2 inch. Yeah. Ew. Get that out. I would imagine there's an O-ring up in there for valve packing. Get that out of there. Should be able to. Yeah. That is gunky. Okay, now I can get it straight up on the tank here. There we go. Put that back in there for now. Oh, that goes in here. So I don't lose it. That looks to be plugged off up in there. That pet clock. Okay. And this back on there. Tuck it in there so it's not hitting anything. Okay. Just turn it back around. In there a little tighter. Okay, this is that shaft for that neutral switch. That just shoves straight up through the tank. And here's another mud dauber nest. Okay, screw for the points. Screwdriver just a little bit short. There we go. And it's got to come out. It's a ring terminal. Oops, sorry. There's that old coil. I'd say it's seen better days. Yeah, I'm gonna do. Where'd that screw go? There it is. That's what I wanted. A little screw starter. Turn that, set it. Put your screw in there. Give that a push, and that locks that screw on the end of that. It's kind of handy for us old guys with fat fingers. And then again, well, that shaft is just in the perfect position to block that points plate. Nope, that ain't gonna get it. It's too big. Take my tools apart. We stick it back in there till see how the coil's gonna go. Ooh, that's pretty cheesy looking there. The wire's all cracked for that condenser. Ooh. That's more of the coil. That's where the ignition wire comes through there. Down here. Can't see it. Can't rotate it that way. These are the ignition coils, spark plug wires. Goes that way. This piece here, it goes down in there. That's the old coil piece is broken off. See if I can get that out of there. There it comes. Falling apart. There it is. Huh. There's the spike that sticks up in the end of the coil wire. There must be some more pieces fell down. That's that spike in your ignition wire sticks down in there, and that spike hits the core. Well, that's junk. If I got a little extra wire, I'll probably trim some off of that. I'm probably going to have to, I guess I could have rotated that for you. That's where I'm talking about. That wire comes through, that's the end of the ignition wire there. I might have to take this whole timing plate off. Well, there's just a flathead screw behind this that clamps those on. But this coil wire, that's for the bottom plug. Wraps the whole way around underneath here to run to this coil. If I'm gonna be able to snake that through or not. Well, I'm going to take a break here and eyeball that. Okay, I decided to do a little repositioning here on the outboard. Brought it over here to the table and clamped it on a little lower and able to access it a little better. Okay. I went ahead and pulled this other condenser out. Goes there. I took this cam ring off of the crankshaft. That's keyed on there, so it only goes one way. That's where the points rub on that cam. And open the points. And these two screws are what was holding down this timing plate. Well, with those loosened up, that comes off. And there's your spark plug wires coming in. That's the top one, the short one. The bottom one is the long one that wraps the whole way around. And you can see the bottom of this coil on this side. It's all falling apart too, lamination. So, just don't want to get everything on backwards here. There's that little piece that holds the felt pad on for the oiling. That cam, that just sits right on there. I'm going to put a screw back in that because I don't need it off. Well, that's held on by one of the coil bolts. Let's put that in there for now so I don't lose that little thing. I'm going to lose those little those screws have keepers on them. They must have a shoulder on them so that they cannot drop out. That's good. Those two screws. Go in these two holes. That rotates, so I don't want to screw that up. Figure some way of marking that. Let me grab a paint stick. Okay. I marked the, put some yellow paint on the top of these screws and on this plate where the screws go, because that rotates and I don't want it changing the clocking or anything. Double check. Yeah, that's where those fit. And that plate down in there just might be a collar to help, that holds this timing plate on. Couple more items here. This here plate rotates, and this is that neutral switch. So when it's closed, that's in this position with that handle. You can go up to fast, but if you have this neutral switch on, which would be in the out position, like that, this slides around, and that stops you from engaging the shaft above idle speed. So that's engaged, the prop's engaged. Here the prop is disengaged, and that stops you from speeding up. Over here on this side, see this cam looking plate comes out and rides up. This would be the throttle linkage. And one other item we got was this idle mixture screw that goes down through the gas tank and connects to that shaft. This is supposed to be able to move up and down like that, and that is the primer for the engine on start. And that is, this linkage down here is stuck hard in place. It won't move. So we're gonna have to pull the carburetor and go through that, get everything freed up. Like I said, everything down here is covered with that sticky looking varnish. Okay, I think the next thing I want to do I'm going to try putting this coil on this side, spin it over, and see if we get any spark. And again, that should be the lower piston, or the lower piston. This is the top, that's the bottom. Let me stick that coil in there and throw some things back on here and see if we get any lightning. I get that stuck back together and I'll bring you back here. Okay. I loosened up this clamp for the ignition wires, spark plug wires. I'm going to shorten this one up just to get a little piece of fresh wire. That wire stabs into the coil here on this spike. That's looking pretty green down in there. So I'm going to knock off about 1/2 inch. So that's got some fresh wire to stick into. Okay, where I stick that coil in, I'm gonna put a drop of oil on that felt pad for the cam. So it's got a little lubrication, doesn't take much. It sucked that right up. And I think I might even turn that over. Just like that. Give it a little fresher edge to rub on that cam. And I probably ought to put that cam back in. That's tied into the keyway shaft. Got to get that down past the lobes on the points. There it goes. Okay, that's back in. Put our felt pad back on. Okay, that's on there good. Okay. Points are clear. I did cut about a ½ inch off of this wire. Got some fresh wire for that to stab into the coil. This new coil has a rubber cap on it. It covers the wire and goes up over that section of the coil where the wire goes in, just like a rubber seal. I don't think it's going to fit through the original didn't have that. I don't know if I can force it in there. It's pretty tight. There it goes. It's going in there, but it's pretty tight. Ground wire goes over there. Not much clearance. big long screw is on this hole. And the other short one was in this hole. Okay, I could fill that catch. That long screw, if you remember these yellow screws that hold the timing plate down, I marked the 2 holes that were yellow for these screws. There were 2 other holes, this way and that way, in that same plate. And that's where these long screws are tying into that plate under the that holds down the timing plate, or timing advance, whatever you want to call it. Stick this stuff back in here for now. That's filling like it wants to cross thread. Yeah, it was starting to. There it goes. I'll just pull this one back for now. It's probably going to be way too wide for the magneto clearance. Okay, there's a hole up here in the flywheel. I'm hoping that will allow me to adjust the coil clearance and the point gap. Let me get this point hook back up. My fat fingers can do this. Okay, here's the coil wire. Get that tucked back out of the way. the coil and condenser wire go together on the point bracket. Tighten the condenser back down. I just had everything loose here trying to figure out how that timing plate came off. Wire out of the way so it doesn't get pinched. I need to rotate that engine till the points open up here. Should be right there. And my gap is off. Turn my adjustment screw. Looks pretty good. Well, anybody out there gamblers think we'll get sparked? Put the flywheel back on. Get that keyway lined up. It's hard to see that kiwi. And we're rubbing on something. I think it's the coil. Should be back as far as it goes. It's lined up with the tabs. See some rub marks there on the magnet side. Well, I think we're going to get sparked. Yes, sir. I don't know if you can see that. Looking right here at the spark plug. Good spark. Well, we just got to do that to the other side. Put the other coil on. Hopefully we'll get some lightning. Okay. Okay. Got that, the other old coil off. And it's not quite as bad as the other one, but it's ready. Ready for a funeral. Okay, I'm going to pull that wire through, snip a little off of the ignition wire. Again, so it's got a fresh wire where the stabs into the coil. I'll set the points on this side. There's that same piece broken off. I'll set these points, set the clearance on the magneto, and we'll try that side. I'll bring you back. Okay, we got the new coil on this side. Got the points adjusted. I think we're about ready to slap on the flywheel. Give it a try. Just wire back in place. Tighten up that clamp underneath. Bit of a bugger to get to. Can't get a straight shot on it. Wires back in the slots. Come on. Okay, let's try number 2. where it's not quite sitting up in there where it should. There we go. Look. You guys gonna be able to see that? Okay, so you got to put the flywheel on. Okay, we're ready to try her again here. Be able to see them. Here we go. Nope. Not got any spark on this. Could it be a bad wire? And the other plug. Yep. Not the plug. Oh, them babies are tight. Yep. Well, once more. I think it's hitting the cap okay. Nope, no spark. Clearances look fine. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some more investigating here. Well, checked everything over again. Point gaps are good. All my connections are tight. I spun it over again. Checked the spark. I'm only getting, this is a bad one, for the lower plug. I only get a light spark, and only for about 2 revolutions. And it just goes away completely. So I think that's going to point me to bad condensers. So I'm going to have to order those. Probably take a couple days to get them. So I'm going to finish up here, get the condensers ordered, and we'll come back down tomorrow. Maybe pull the carb off and take a look at the fuel situation. I know there's going to be a bunch of varnish and everything, so while we're waiting for condensers, we'll go and get the fuel system checked out and cleaned up and go from there. Well, we'll catch you on the next one. Drop us a like. Come on back and see us. I just try to decide one more thing here while I'm down here. I'm going to do a compression test. This would be the top cylinder. About 70 pounds on that one. In there. There it goes. The bottom cylinder. Oh. And we got 60 pounds on that one. Let's keep that in mind as we're moving forward. Might be some rings leaking, might be some valves sticking. Okay, that's it for tonight. We'll see you later.